Hey there, beautiful people. It's Dina, bringing another daily dose. If you are a special needs mom, a caregiver, or a mom navigating an extreme circumstance, your health is the most important thing. Your care is the most important thing. I didn't used to think that. I used to think that the care of my child or the person that I was taking care of or all the duties that I had as a wife and a mom were more important than my own health. And when I found out when my own health wasn't strong enough to be able to do all the things that I needed to do, then I wasn't good for anybody, not for myself and not for anyone else. It is so important for us to put the oxygen mask on ourselves. So this past week, I've been pretty sick, and so has my special needs daughter. We've both been very sick, but it's been very important for me to know the times that I need to rest because I have to make sure that I'm strong enough to care for her. And I could tell when I was pushing myself too much because my attitude usually ends up falling in line with that. If I'm getting more agitated with her or just agitated in general, then I know that I need to slow down a little bit and rest. So I spent most of the evenings after I'm done with my work here just resting. So somebody who is, a go-getter, somebody that gets things done and wants to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, that's very hard to slow down long enough to rest. So this week I've had to spend a good chunk of time just resting and spending some time just honestly laying in bed and watching TV. And that is very unusual for me to do that. Usually I'm the one that gets up first thing in the morning and I'm go, go, go until I fall in bed exhausted at the end of the night. I just give everything to my day. And like I said many times, as a special needs mom, my day is filled with caring for my child or just caring for the needs of our family. It's not just my child that I'm caring for. There's a lot of things that I do every single day, but so much of the time it's for somebody else. And so I'm just here to tell you today that it is okay for you to take care of yourself. You do not need permission to put yourself first. You do not need anybody else's approval to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Not your children, not your spouse, not anybody. You're the only one that knows what you need. And honestly, God's the one that knows what you need. He's the one that's going to speak to your heart. And sometimes even a sickness is used to slow you down. Now, I'm not saying God caused a sickness or caused whatever it is that's ailing both my daughter and I. But sometimes you can look at the bright side of that. And I did get to spend some time resting, and I normally would not do that. Sometimes it's okay to just turn on the TV and sit with your feet up and relax. And that's what I had to do most of this week because my body needed the rest. And the more I moved, the harder it was for me to breathe. And so I knew that the more stress I was putting my body under, I wasn't going to heal. And if I'm not healed and I'm, this sickness goes on longer than it should, then I'm certainly not going to be able to care for my child, especially when she's not feeling well too. I also have to make sure that my spiritual health is taken care of. It's not just our physical health. Our spiritual health is so important. I would say that's the first and most important thing. But that doesn't have to be quantity of time. It's quality of time. So God knows when you don't feel good. He knows when you need to rest. He's not looking for you to spend hours every day reading your Bible and praying and all that. No, just sitting in his presence, just being in his presence and resting sometimes is the best form of worship. The best way that we can honor God is by slowing down long enough just to sit and rest and allow him to heal your body. Allow him to heal your spirit, whatever that is that you're going through. So I'm here again just to tell you that it is okay. It is number one priority for you to put yourself first. For so many years, I didn't do that. And I burnt myself to the point where I was just so depleted and so depressed that I just could not see a way out of the darkness because it was an ongoing thing that I wasn't managing. I wasn't managing my stress. I wasn't managing my physical body, my relationships, nothing. I was just literally running on fumes. And I always say burning the candle at both ends, and I was running out of wick. So my mood was always, up and down. My heart always felt heavy. I could not find joy even in the things that most people would find joy in. When you allow yourself to get into that place and that depression turns into despair, and you can't hear from God, the enemy has control over you. He wants to have control over you even in your physical body. Part of being healthy is making sure that we're putting in good quality food and nourishing our bodies. And that was not something I was doing. And I had to be convicted by that. So in my time of laying down, I was eating things I shouldn't have eaten. And I realized that was not going to help speed the process of my healing. And so I allowed God just to speak to my heart. And it was no shame or condemnation. It was just simply, it's time to get this together if you want to heal. So again, I'm just here to tell you that I want you to know that you're number one priority. Outside of God, you're the number one priority above everything else. above your husband, above your children, above everything else. And I don't mean that you're better than. It's not that. I'm saying that you need to be caring for yourself so that you can adequately care for anyone else. We need to love ourselves first before we can love anyone else. If we don't love ourselves, then we can't possibly give out of something that we don't have. We can't give out of an empty vessel. If we're depleted and there's nothing left to give anybody else, so you're giving everybody else the burnt out, worn out, overwhelmed part of you. When you're constantly pouring into yourself, whether that's physically, emotionally, or spiritually, then out of that excess, you'll be able to give to others. That's what it means by putting the oxygen mask on yourself. When you have enough oxygen that you can breathe well, then you can be able to help other people. And that oxygen is spiritual oxygen and physical oxygen as well. So whatever it is you're going through, take the time today, honestly, just to rest, sit at the feet of Jesus, take some time to breathe, go take a walk, put yourself in the sunshine. It's beautiful outside where I live right now. Spring is here and the sun is out, and I want to get outside a little bit because I've spent a lot of time inside in bed this week being sick, and I'm going to put the oxygen mask on myself, and I'm going to give you the permission to do the same thing. So remember, God has a plan for you. He loves you. He cares for you. He wants to heal your body. He wants you to rest in Him. He wants you to put yourself first and just be there with Him. And I love you, and I can't wait for us to be back together again. So have an awesome day. Bye.